If you could visit any planet, where would you go?
Now, is this just magic? Like any planet works, so I don't have to like be like, oh, it's too cold here.
It does. You have a suit that will allow you to breathe the oxygen that you need.
Okay.
Will keep you warm. Will keep you cool. Depending on the planet, where would you go?
Saturn, or like a moon.
Interesting. Why Saturn?
Saturn's like gaseous, isn't it? Just like Jupiter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like a moon on Saturn somewhere. Just seems like Saturn's chill.
Interesting.
It's out there. I get that, but like I feel I dig Saturn.
I think I'd go to Jupiter. I'd want to know firsthand if the red spot opens up to a gate to like a futuristic kingdom that might be on the planet.
So you've thought about this
as per Jupiter ascending. I think Jupiter just because it's so gigantic,
mm-hmm.
and it would just be. I just would want to know what's at the center. You know,
candy.
Or a futuristic kingdom, right? That was
one or the other.
Yeah, one of those. But yeah, I think, or maybe Pluto. Just even though Pluto is technically not a planet,
it's just
anymore.
A big rock. I mean, there's not gonna be anything there.
Yeah, but I mean, but what does space look like from that?
Black.
But just the stars. You'll see the stars.
Do you think the stars are suddenly bigger because you're on another planet?
No, but it just would be different. It just would be different.
I suppose.
You'd definitely be in darkness, though, because Pluto is way far away from the sun.
Well.
But yeah.
Speaking of black, I'm Aaron Neuwirth. I am the editor-in-chief of League of Entertainment and the co-host of Out Now There in a Name, and I'm a huge Godzilla movie fan.
My name is Terence Johnson. I'm a writer at lenoirtour.net, and I have seen some Godzilla movies.
Together, we are
Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla.
Seamless.
Of course. It is the one thing I know we won't mess up. It is absolutely the one thing that I know we won't mess up.
Okay, so today is, like always, this is going to be a fun episode. But I'm excited particularly about this one because I'm a huge fan of our subject, which is Invasion of Astro-Monster. 1965, Ishiro Honda directed film. This is like, I'm looking forward to all of these just because I enjoy seeing your reactions to these. But this is like among my favorite Godzilla movies, Invasion of Astro-Monster. And now that you've seen it, I think you can understand why.
Yes.
It's a lot of movie.
It is. It's what nobody will accuse this movie of being subtle or slow or brief or thin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody would accuse this movie of that.
It's got a lot going on, and I'm all for it.
It does. It certainly does.
Yeah, no other any announcements on your end?
No major announcements.
Nothing this will come out in what, like June?
Of course, yes.
So okay, nothing I can think of right now. So yeah, let's do it then. Let's get into Invasion of Astro-Monster.
Travel now to Planet X.
Calling World Space Authority. World Space Authority.
A barren land laid to waste by the vile brute known as Monster Zero.
I'm controller of Planet X.
The underground inhabitants of this unfortunate orb have but one hope. The destructive duo of Godzilla and Rodan. Will these strange aliens be liberated from unending chaos? What secrets lurk beneath the surface of Planet X? And what jeopardy awaits the citizens of Earth?
Shall delay the orders to kill for 24 hours. This is your last chance.
All right, so here's the briefest version of the plot I can describe to get into this movie. Invasion of Astro-Monster. Astronauts encounter the Xilians, who ask Earth's people to help save them from Monster Zero. But when one of the astronauts romances a mysterious woman, he uncovers the Xilians' true intentions.
So this is the American take on the plot.
That's the American take on the plot.
Yeah.
Now you say that, but America had a bigger hand in this entry than the previous ones, which I think should be obvious given that it literally co-stars American actor Nick Adams.
Yes.
Nick Adams, an actor who died fairly young, like at 36, drugs, and has his own history as far as being rising up at the same time James Dean was. He's in Rebel Without a Cause. He and Dean and Elvis were very friendly with each other.
Very friendly.
Nothing entirely stated as far as how far that friendship went, but there's been rumblings about things that they've done to the point where Nick Adams was sent out on like dates with like Natalie Wood and things to get his image to be a certain way.
Okay.
But he had a rough go of it, and by the time we're getting into Invasion of Astro-Monster, he's kind of out of leading man status and more of let's sign him up to get in some other international films to get his cred up. Not like Leonardo DiCaprio and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Let's get some international recognition to kind of boost his presence elsewhere because America's not really working out for him. I mentioned all this because yes, this movie has specifically more American involvement. There's notes on how to do these stories. As you might notice, this movie kicks off. They're already in space, like on the mission to go to Planet X.
Yeah.
Because the suggestion from the American side was let's stop with like starting up with like press conferences and newsrooms. Let's just get them already into the action.
Yeah.
So this movie kicks right off. It goes right into they're already on a spaceship. They're already on their way out. Obviously, Nick Adams is the co-star of this movie, so like you have that relationship is more of a thing. There's just more. I find it all interesting just because we're coming off a movie that started with basically a look at what Japan was like because of this thing that happened based on America bombing them. And now we have a movie that is basically America and Japan united to make a monster movie together.
Yeah.
Both based on both the popularity of monster movies and because, like, hey, let's cooperate. Let's see. So
yes.
It's, this is 65. This is 11 years after the first movie.
Yeah. It certainly was interesting in that this movie, not that, because we've seen Americans before.
Sure.
And we watched the Americanized version of the first one.
Yes.
And there's something about this movie, particularly in the ensemble of actors, that feels so wholly different than any other one that we've watched before. Like, that is something that I was definitely noticing. It felt like a whole new set of players essentially joined this company.
Even though you still have Akira Takarada as the other lead.
Yeah, but like...
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Something about it is like, we don't see Kenji, we don't see Hiroki, and so it definitely feels like a new vibe, I will say. This feels like a new vibe. Is this... Ghidorah, obviously, we've obviously witnessed Ghidorah, but is this the first aliens involved in the plot?
Yes.
Of the ones that we've watched, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's certainly...
Like specifically alien,
yeah, we've certainly made a lot of, sort of radical changes, and it definitely feels that way. But I did enjoy this quite a bit. I see why you love it. It is one of the most bonkers plots maybe ever put to screen, but it is narratively extremely tight.
It is. It's my favorite human plot of probably all of these, at least of the Showa era movies. I really like this human plot a lot because yes, it's tight, but also I genuinely like these the dynamics between these characters, even to the point where the American dubbed version, which isn't that different, like the American version of this changes some lines around just for the sake of changing lines around, but there's not like significant cuts to the movie or anything. I believe it's just called Monster Zero. That's what this movie is.
Yeah.
And it was put on a double bill at the time with War of the Gargantuas, which we'll get to. Actually, by the time this is up, I think
we'll see it.
I believe in the order that we're doing this, that we'll already have talked about Gargantuas at this point. But regardless, it does a lot of things for me as far as what the human plots are capable of that work. As far as giving me distinct characters with chemistry with each other.
Yes.
I really like Fuji and Glenn together. I think they're
fun. Yeah,
they're fun enough where I'm sad that they don't come back. Like I'd be happy to see more adventures of them going to planets and finding other monsters or whatever, or dealing with their sister's boyfriend drama or whatever. Yeah. Like it's like, and so in addition to that, you have that plot. You have the brother and the girlfriend, like they're the sister and the girl and the brother and the boyfriend. you have all these disparate elements that find a way to come together. Like, everything matters in this movie.
It does.
Like, everything that is introduced actually makes a difference in how this plot plays out, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Because, like I said, it's bonkers. It's like humans go to a planet that has been discovered next to Jupiter. We get there. We meet these aliens. The aliens are like, we're all underground because why? King Ghidorah. And
which is a fun surprise because they're saying Monster Zero, and you're like, oh, what's Monster Zero going to be? And it's just Ghidorah.
yeah, just tearing up the surface for no reason. And then they're like, okay, but we need go back to Earth and tell everybody that we need Godzilla and Rodan because we saw on our interstellar television how they teamed up to defeat this thing. Bring them back, have them defeat them, and we'll give you the cure for cancer. Thanks. And that is like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great first act
of the movie.
Because it gives you, because
crazy.
We don't even have monster fights yet. And we already have we have a lot of character stuff. We have a plot that makes sense in the realm of what this series is.
Yes.
It's like, okay, that's interesting. What's this going to turn into? That's such a it's such a great setup for where the story can. And it still has options because wait a minute, they're going to just have a cure for cancer. They're going to borrow Godzilla and Rodan. How does all this work? And what's the other hour of this movie going to be?
Yeah, and certainly, it's like, and along the way we take a stop to know that this guy does not like the man his sister is dating.
And we say not like, it's not just like he's mildly displeased.
Big time hater.
He hates this man for seemingly no reason. He's an inventor who's yet to sell a device that doesn't seem to work.
An all-time hater.
He being invited to Dave Chappelle's Player Haters Ball. He's such a hater on this man.
Yeah, unreal how much he does not like this dude.
To the point when they finally are all together, the man has literally already sold his invention for money, and the guy's still like, you're a fool. He's just like...
Yeah, well, then he comes back, and he's like, oh, so where were you? Locked in jail by the aliens. The Xilians, I should say. Alongside your partner. What do you mean, where was I?
There's a point where he's in the conference room or whatever with everybody else. It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
He hates him so much.
Jesus,
it's so funny.
Big time hater.
And yet I like this character. I like Fuji. He's always rocking he said sunglasses as if we need a way to tell between Glenn and Fuji. It's like, oh, that one has sunglasses.
Yeah.
Now I understand which one's which.
And we've got the boyfriend's name is Tetsuo, which was a fun. If you've seen Akira, certainly. I immediately turned and asked you if that was the same guy's name as Akira. So yeah, it was. There's so much in this movie, but I will say that it's structurally sound.
Yes,
in a way that Aliens, Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, brothers who hate sisters' boyfriends, dating somebody who looks like somebody else. We got Vertigo. We got. God, Independence Day Part 2, and we got Godzilla all in one movie. So yeah, I
you know what? I was wrong. We had aliens in Ghidorah last week because they're from Venus or whatever, right?
Oh yes, but that was an interstellar.
Yeah, that was more of a. This is transferring consciousness, and
this is the first time.
This is straight up there's humanoid people that are gray makeup, black eyeliner, to the extreme, with full on costumes, including a black neck brace and a little antenna on top of their helmets. Because at some point the costume designer was just not enough.
Yes,
they said let's keep going.
Well, at least they didn't make them green.
Yeah, no, they went for the gray.
They said we are not doing Marvin the Martian.
They knew what's up with the evolution. They're like, yeah, they're on a gray planet.
Yeah,
they naturally evolve that way.
So yeah, it's. This isn't our first time dealing with an alien or aliens factoring into the plot. There's one episode in the future where we've dealt with it, and so I have been primed by that because we recorded that one really early to have an understanding that these things are involved. And currently sitting on my dining room table is I think this is the Funko, not the Funko, the Mondo.
Yeah.
Godzilla on this alien ship, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, what in the world could I possibly have to do?
Oddly matching the color of your pink frosted cookies that are right next to it.
These frosted cookies that I can't resist. They are
the irony of this.
Yes, very, very. They put. I'm convinced they put drugs in those cookies. That's why they taste so good. But yeah, so much is involved. There are so many places we could go with this. I'm just like looking at my notes, trying to figure out where to start.
Well, the other thing, I mean, we were talking about the tight narrative. We can talk about where it goes later, but
yes.
It's not, like the narrative is tight, but also it has twists. Like it has reveals and things that I found to be. Like, obviously, like
it's effective. Although I felt like I was like something has to come of this that's a little more substantial, so I knew what was gonna theoretically go down. But
even the movie is it's not trying to be too ahead of you, because the characters that we're following, they're also like
trying to figure it out.
This seems a little too convenient. Like, what's going on here? We're happy that this is supposedly going to work out, but let's keep an eye open in case something else happens. Like, I like the movie's not trying to dupe you necessarily. It's playing fair.
Yeah, it's we're following along with them. Even though, like I said, I knew I had an inkling of where we were going to go, right? Like the second those alien ships pop up from out of that lake, you're like, okay, okay. But the characters discuss it, so it's not like nobody in the movie is like, maybe
they're not falling full on head over heels. Like, well, I guess that makes sense. Fine, nothing we're to worry about.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, the screenwriting in this was quite amazing. I think it is. It might be my third favorite of the ones that we've watched.
What's two? Mothra or the other one that we haven't?
The one we haven't talked about. We have the future episode and the original.
Got it.
Yeah, this is certainly up there.
Yeah, because it rocks. If we want to start talking about stuff and like as far as where we can go with this, I do want to get to because there's so many other things that are going to happen. But as far as the opening first act goes, this is 65, so it's pre-moon landing, but we are in like the space race and all that.
Yes.
And there are movies that reflect that. What I really like about this one, you have this ship, the P-1, that's heading to Planet X, piloted by Fuji and Glenn, and it's a retro-looking spaceship. It's like a little shuttle with like 4 little wings like attached on the sides and whatnot. It reminded me a lot of Destination Moon, an American sci-fi film that has a similar vibe as far as the kind of spaceship that's like this retro-y thing. The kind of what Hollywood's version of what a space landing would look like, as far as like, it's like a spaceship, so it just like lands, somehow backs up onto the planet. And you have to, because it's so weirdly shaped, you have to take like a weird elevator to get down onto the planet from where it starts from.
I loved that miniature. It's love.
There's some cool, like, the thing is, this is a lower budget one by comparison to the previous couple, and
that's interesting because I actually feel like this movie has maybe some of the most destruction we've ever seen in a Godzilla movie. Like this is harkening back to like the first one, in just how many buildings, how much, like once we start to get to the destruction in the third act, it's like I was like, what is the cost of all of this damage? But yeah, it certainly. It made good use of the money that they had. I would say.
I would agree. I think Ishiro Honda is certainly, like, he's still here directing, same whole team, the special effects team and everything. Ifukube score. This is the last one he does for a little while. We're going to get to our next director, Jun Fukuda, in the coming weeks for at least 2 or 3 before we get back to Honda again. And I don't know if this is more of his like, swan song kind of thing, but he certainly he seemed to put a lot of effort despite having less to work with. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say backed in the corner because it's still Toho's prized franchise, but it certainly shows him doing everything he can to make this the more, as effective as it can be, given how ambitious the story is by comparison.
Yeah.
Because this is one that's not just like, Earth, Godzilla, oh no, something's attacking. It's, we're going to move to another planet.
Yeah. Yeah, going to another planet
What else can we do here? We introduced the three-headed electric dragon last time. Well, if we have aliens that are also being tormented by it, we can go to another planet and do the same thing, and then come back to Earth.
That's what I'm saying. It's just bonkers. What prompted them to think of this? But it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I think we're high in, because now we're mid 60s. Sci-fi is just beyond just like giant monster movies. Now like sci-fi is really kicking into gear.
Yeah,
especially with the whole idea of going to the moon. That's very much in the atmosphere around the world. So like,
so sci-fi is moving essentially from the B genre, from being a B genre, into something a little more established.
Even you have various movies and Star Trek's around here somewhere, I imagine, the show, along with other things. Planet of the Apes is gonna take off soon enough, as far as a major sci-fi American franchise, the biggest one up until Star Wars comes out. It's just, there's more expansive things going on with like how to do sci-fi beyond just like Jules Verne's quote unquote old fashioned
66
takes.
For Star Trek, so
so it's coming.
In a year. Yeah,
and like I said, I mean, movies like Destination Moon, Forbidden Planet, like there's other things that are doing like space hopping, or obviously like Buck Rogers and like older things like that and whatnot. So it was only a matter of time until Japan's like, well, let's leave Earth. Don't worry, we return promptly next time.
It's certainly an adventure.
What was your reaction when they were talking about Monster Zero versus when you finally saw Monster Zero? It's just
I was honestly primed for a whole new monster. I was like, okay, great, a new alien thing. And then Ghidorah, I said, oh my god. Why is he always around, just being rude for no reason?
I like how that makes this like a weird... I mean, all these are connected somewhat, but like the continuity seems the strongest here as far as the previous film led to this film. As far as like the aliens know that Rodan and Godzilla teamed up to fight off Ghidorah. And this one, at some point, I guess Ghidorah just wound up under control of the Xilians. And it's like, I guess I work for these guys now.
Yeah, I think it was fascinating to have him just pop up, because we knew he flew off at the end of the last one. And I think I because you mentioned how much you liked him, and I think this second appearance I really see just why. Not that I didn't see it from the first one, but I see how Ghidorah would grow on you.
It's this fun, like, recurring villain. He just comes back.
Just like, just annoying. Yeah. With the three heads, lightning zapping people's feet and their hands.
And even, like, the weird sound it makes. Yeah. It's just got so much stuff going for it that I enjoy.
Yeah, it's a really cool sort of thing. You think about how they're making these, and it's like... people in suits versus like somebody in a suit, but maybe they're also puppeteering the heads.
It's all a mix of stuff, yeah.
So it's like really fascinating to see how they put all of that stuff together. So yeah, it was. I said not it being Ghidorah in my notes as we were watching this, but yeah, I think it was. I mean, I think and it also, if the Xilians have seen on their version of Windows Media Player.
Yeah, so they got a preview of Godzilla and Rodan.
They saw the battle. I do find it fascinating that Mothra then wasn't also involved, because Mothra was extremely key in that fight too. But I don't mind it being the two Rodan and Godzilla. I don't mind it being.
It's probably because they watched the same Window Media Player preview of Mothra and they're like, wait, this thing's got two little girls we got to get rid of too. Like, this seems like a whole deal. We gotta like learn how to sing a song or whatever. It's not even flying yet. Like, this seems like a lot of work. Let's leave Mothra alone.
The Windows Media Player joke, for people who have not listened to all of the episodes of this, is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice related. What my favorite thing about that is how people just kept changing what it was. It was like Windows Media Player, it was Real Player, it was some other ancient like video watching software. But the Xilians here are very technological advanced, so maybe they had VLC before anybody else did.
Configured properly.
Yes.
They don't have to change any settings; it just automatically plays for them. That's how futuristic.
Yes, that's how it is.
They didn't create logos though, like Lex Luthor did.
That's true.
They create logos in advance. A big G with a lightning bolt on hers.
That's true. Or an atomic cloud behind the G.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Or like a big Rodan, like little wavy lines for gusts of wind.
Well, speaking of silly things,
sure.
Let's talk about your favorite Godzilla. What this dance?
Okay.
This
is the sheet dance. SHIE. Yes.
I love Godzilla having more personality over the course of these movies.
Fair.
We even get some eye action in this one. We're really close up on the eyes, moving and digesting. But what this dance was foolish.
So, to provide some context for those that have not watched this movie, although I hope everyone has, there's two big fights between Godzilla, Rodan, and Ghidorah in this movie. The first fight is fairly short, and Godzilla and Rodan just throw a bunch of rocks at Ghidorah and knock it down, and Ghidorah flies off. And so there's a victory celebration, obviously, as one does, where Godzilla does a little bit of a dance, which is just like he jumps up and down, puts his hands in certain positions. It's called the She dance. It was a popular dance at the time. It would be the equivalent of like someone doing Gangnam Style as a celebration back in the 60s. Mm-hmm. I have a quote here from Ryuji Honda, the son of Ishiro Honda. He says, "When they made Godzilla do that she thing, I knew how pissed my father was. He didn't say a word, but he was beyond angry. My father found it humiliating. I'm sure he was telling himself, we did not create Godzilla for that. It's not right."
It was silly.
It is quite silly. I do
and so weird to put at that point in a movie. Like, if that happened at the end of the movie, I'd be like, okay, if this is a movie for kids and you want to have Godzilla have the celebration or whatever, but like halfway,
I think it feeds well into the overconfidence of everybody, where they're like, everything's going well. The Xilians are cool. We're gonna get the cure for cancer. Godzilla just beat this guy up that like left us the last time around. They didn't get to finish him off, so it's like, yeah, I won. What's up? Here's my dance. I think it works in this movie. I think if you do it at the end of this movie, I think it's counterintuitive, because sure, it's like a celebration, but like Godzilla still needs to be like an anti-hero. And so this one, it's just another, like, they roll into the water and then it's over, which is always funny. Just like, I guess Godzilla's done for now. He rolled into the water. He doesn't need to destroy Earth anymore.
Gotcha.
But if he does like a dance, it's like everybody's just cheering on Godzilla at that point. Like, you still need the matter of like, we're merely coexisting with him. We're not like celebrating that we have Godzilla. This is more personal to Godzilla, where it's like, yeah, that fool from the last movie that got away, we beat the fuck out of him with a rock. Sorry. We beat him with a rock.
All our viewers who like our clean podcast,
I can edit things.
They're listening to this in the cars with their children, and now they got to explain what that word means.
No, but I do think there's like, I get that it's Godzilla. There's only so much you can like, take away from it, but there's like ego there as far as, yeah, we did it. We did our thing in our mission that we had, where we were borrowed from Earth to fight Monster Zero on another planet. Yeah. I do like how curious you were about the notion of, wait, how are they going to get Godzilla and Rodan to the other planet?
Well, yeah, because I'm looking at this Mondo thing, and I'm like, oh, so is Godzilla going to be like in it? and they did it in the most logical way possible, which is essentially beamed them, put them in a bubble, and beamed them to the planet, and then just like dropped them there.
Yeah, they used like a space Uber.
Yeah, although Godzilla and Rodan were like, what is this?
Well, they got them while they were like sleeping.
Yeah, resting, which is so funny.
Then they woke him up, and then they're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, imagine you just
this guy's here,
sleeping comfortable in your bed, and suddenly you're on another planet,
and Ghidorah's attacking you. It's like, wait, what?
And you got to fight the person that you just beat. Yeah, it was. I was thrilled at how they actually got them there, and it was just very funny that they were, asleep.
This is the kind of movie that I definitely would want to see with an audience for like the first time in 1965.
Yeah.
Where you have like these gray weirdos talking about Monster Zero. So like Ghidorah comes like, what? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely some weirdness, but fun going on in this. One of the funniest things was them just leaving them there, though.
And once they're done, it's like, yeah, we borrowed them. I mean, we don't need to take them back.
Last episode, I was over it with Godzilla talking about the humans bullying them. In this one, he might have had a case.
Okay, so there
Had
you go.
he said that this week, he'd been like, they snatched me up out of my bed and dropped me on a foreign planet. They just bully us. Then I would understand. But last time, he did not have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he was thinking that too. This supports my case.
Yeah, this definitely supported the kid because they really just left them on that planet. And I think the humans were like, oh, thank God, we get rid of, Varan is still out there somewhere.
Watch out for Varan.
Mothra is and King Kong are out there somewhere, but like they're not going.
Well, they're also kind. They're kind monsters.
Mothra especially.
Mothra is the queen of the monsters. So let's talk about where this goes. Okay, so we've already talked about the fact that there is a whole plan for the Xilians to trade the cure for cancer for the chance to borrow Earth's monsters to fight off Monster Zero. Okay, let's get to how they discover, how we discover that things aren't what they seem.
Yes.
So earlier on, Tetsuo, the sister of Fuji's boyfriend, who is an inventor, invents a toy, and he supposedly makes a super good deal with the world, I forget what it is.
It's like the World Education Corporation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The WEC. And where he signs a contract and only will get paid once they distribute the thing.
Yes.
Among the people involved in this is a mysterious woman. Mm-hmm. We don't need to necessarily call her mysterious, just a woman that seems to be in power here.
Yes.
And at the same time, Nick Adams, Glenn, he's dating her.
Yep.
He's one for the business ladies in Japan. That's his deal. And we discover. What do we discover? How do we discover this?
Well, the brother. We're on a meet and greet with the brother. Mm-hmm. The brother is being a big time hater. He goes to a window and he sees that he finds out that they're dating. So Tetsuo is like, something is up. I haven't been paid. They keep talking about going to market. Why is it going so slowly? I need this money so that my girlfriend's brother won't hate me. So he goes to the compound, gets locked in a trap door, snatches him up. He's thrown in jail. And we find out that his invention emits an audio frequency that the Xilians don't like or can't. It messes them up so badly because it's a frequency that just like ruins them essentially. And Glenn also discovers this because he, on this alien planet, on Planet X, discovers that all the women look like this woman that he's dating.
Namakawa. There we go.
And
find her name.
He gets thrown in this jail as well. She gets eliminated, but before she gets eliminated, she leaves them a note saying, the reason why we bought your invention is because it was going to mess all of us up. And so they get one version of it. He turns it on, it messes up the aliens, they escape, and they finally coordinate with the rest of the humans being like, here's part 1 of the plan that we'll need to defeat these people.
So here's what's going down. In the meantime, the Xilians are like, guess what? We fooled you.
Yes.
We cure for cancer. We don't have it. We don't even know what that is. Mm-hmm. We've made that up.
Yeah.
What we do have instead is a plan for total takeover.
Yes.
Monster Zero's been working with us all along. Mm-hmm. And not only do we still have Monster Zero in our control, now we have your monsters. And we're going to use all 3 of your monsters to help us in the complete takeover of your planet.
Earth is going to become a colony of Planet X.
It's going to be a colony. Yep. If you do not comply, we're going to wipe out every human possible all over the planet. We're going to wipe them out. What I like about this is that while this is happening, the world is being fed the same information. Like, it's not like, I don't know, Armageddon, where it's supposed to be like a secret. Like, we don't actually, no one else knows what the mission is. In this world, everybody knows what's happening. The newspapers are constantly saying, Xilians do this, Xilians do that.
World order.
The whole world order is disrupted. Stock markets crash. There's riots because everyone's worried about the Xilians taking over the world.
Meanwhile, our main character thinks that his sister's fiance has run off and is raggedy and doesn't deserve her.
The more important
that entire plot I just described and all of what you just described is happening simultaneously. And he thinks that he just ran off on her.
Fuji's just like, I don't know about this.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I liked these things occurring at the same time. I thought that it was great how
it keeps it grounded.
The Lady Guard thing came back into play in a meaningful way.
Uh-huh.
That was fun. I also I knew the aliens were trouble, but I liked the plan because you're watching this movie and you're like, okay, we dropped Rodan and Godzilla off on a whole other planet. What could possibly, like, they're not going to be left there. We still have half of a movie to go through. So I like that the aliens were like,
they brought him back,
and they're under mind control.
They're under mind control, and they're probably pissed that the humans left them there. Like,
yes.
Wait, you forgot you left us here.
So
back.
Part one of the plan is get this Lady Guard to broadcast this frequency far enough, wide enough, so that we can mess up these aliens. But then part two of the plan is how do we get Ghidorah, Rodan, and Godzilla out of mind control? They are given 24 hours to comply, right? So they have 24 hours to try and figure this thing out. They think they come up with a solution, and of course the aliens are like, well, 23:45 is enough. So we're going to start the attack early. They were like, you with that 15 minutes. They were like, just kidding. We 15 minutes early sounds good.
We're not sticklers.
So they start attacking everything, and this is where you get some of the most destruction I think we've seen in a Godzilla movie. Like a good, like, honestly, I think that is what. I was already sold on this movie, but I think that is what was really selling me.
I think it's because it becomes the focus of the destruction. It's not just two things are fighting and they happen to be destroying stuff. It's we are deliberately attacking these cities now because that's part of our plan.
Yeah, and you're just seeing they are just tearing these places up. Lightning breath, windstorms, atomic
is why
breath,
by the end of all
stomping cities out.
By the end of all this, if we see all of that, but then we see a turn. And then Godzilla's like, I guess I should celebrate. I don't think that would work. I don't think it's good to see a dance at that point.
They could have left the dance out of it altogether. But
well, that's also the case. But in terms of where they put it, I'm glad they put it there as opposed to at the end of this movie.
And so, they are tearing everything up. And so the humans are trying to. One of my very few quibbles with this movie, though, is as much as I love seeing all of that destruction, I would have liked not a tighter edit, but a better edit of like showing me the humans working towards a solution as this destruction is happening. You sort of get like a chunk of destruction and then we cut back to them, which I think, we know what they're doing in the background, but like the world is coming unglued and then it's like, okay, now back over there. And it's like that would have certainly affected how they were going about solving this, and this might just be sort of like an errors of movie making. Like we would have at least cut back one time for them to be like, oh my god, like how can we, like, trying to hurry up at least just to get that a little bit more urgency in it.
Exactly what I was going to say. That comes down to like an errors of movie making, as far as just how movies are just designed these
but
days.
I loved the destruction. I thought that the sound design in this movie is pretty epic.
It is. You got three key monsters and destruction going on, and the score, and humans. Like, you have to balance a lot of things.
Yep, and the Lady Guard. And the mind control beams. Mm-hmm. All going on in a singular scene. And so they do it pretty well, and our monsters are very distinct. Like, Ghidorah's sort of clicking bell weird thing is so distinct from like Godzilla's roar, is so distinct from whatever Rodan is doing. So it's like I really loved the sound design as we hurtle towards the end of this movie. And I thought it was pretty great. And then they get out of the mind control and Rodan and Godzilla are like, this hoe again. And now they gotta fight Ghidorah a second time.
And this is a good fight.
It is a good fight. It's we saw in part one of the battle when they're on the planet that Godzilla at least has learned a little bit about fighting this guy. Like taking cover.
Yeah.
We use more rocks.
Got to get him out of the sky. That's key, right?
Yes. Get him on the ground.
Yeah.
We get some very fun Godzilla-Rodan teamwork. Rodan and Mothra are very strong because they both can pick Godzilla up and fly him. And in this, we see they're doing combo moves and hitting him with rocks and just dealing with Ghidorah in a much better way than in the previous.
Which again feels, I mean, beyond just like further ideas of how to do this, it feels again like it's naturally building off of the first film from a continuity standpoint, as far as these two have fought each other before. So how would they, what designs do they have as far as what they can do the second time around, knowing that it's still out there? And they're like, all right, we can, we're not use cover. We'll we'll team up so you can grab me and launch me at Ghidorah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'm intrigued. We haven't seen. I think Mothra caught on fire in Mothra vs. Godzilla a little bit. The wings got a little burnt.
Yeah, but
we haven't quite seen serious destruction to our heroes or our villains.
Oh, just wait. You will.
So it's interesting. Well, obviously, we have both seen King of the Monsters 2018.
Yeah, 19.
So it's like at some point I was like, let's lessen the number of heads we're dealing with. But we have Godzilla and Rodan and Mothra are not there yet. Even though maybe in the next battle.
I mean, to be fair, Mothra did die in Mothra vs. Godzilla just to be reborn as a new Mothra.
And I want to say for the record, to support my fave, that Mothra was already on her last legs in that battle. And that is not, I would not consider that a fully point. Godzilla's it's like a half a point.
If you want to throw that point out there, then stop talking like Mechagodzilla had it over Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Kong when he was busy fighting King Kong for like 9 hours straight at night. Then
Godzilla,
this metal monster comes out of nowhere.
Here's the difference: Godzilla chose to pick that fight with Kong for no reason. For no reason. He didn't have to do that. He was confused. But we'll talk about that in 2075 when we get there.
You talk about Mechagodzilla mollywhopping Godzilla. Fool's tired. He's been fighting all night. He wasn't ready for unexpected metal demon to come at him.
He was getting mollywhopped. Ooh, that was bad. That was bad. But had he not tried to kill King Kong, he wouldn't have been in that position. So, but yeah, I think even with Mothra dying in that moment, it's still not like...
No, it's not grisly.
Yeah, it's not serious destruction.
Don't worry. You'll get your answer.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, in this, they sort of combo move into Ghidorah. They all go tumbling off a cliff. Mm-hmm. Once again, the poor people living on the seaside and on the seaside cliffs in Japan are just getting washed away.
Which they happily show us.
Yes, this the last time this happened, it was just a big wave. It wasn't washing it. This one was like, because we have 3 monsters, all the buildings are gone. So they do that. Ghidorah flies away yet again. And Godzilla and Rodan are just in the water. And everybody is like, do you think they died? And they're like no.
Is this your first day? Like,
yeah.
If they died?
Now,
Godzilla lives in water. What are you doing, bro?
Rodan dying would be,
But from what? Because they got wet? Like,
yeah. Well, he's a volcano monster. They just put him out.
They just put him out.
Yeah, that's how, we end the film with the humans winning the day. It was a fun movie.
And the brother gives a little respect to the to the boyfriend.
To Tetsuo.
He's like, you know what, this guy, he's lower on my shit list.
Yeah, because he was just an all-time hater. Did I agree with him that trust doesn't put food on the table? Yes. But if he sold the invention and it's just waiting for this gigantic sum of money, I don't know if you could still drag him for the fact, like, it's not his fault he hasn't been paid.
Yeah, you don't tend to expect that your business partners happen to be aliens intent on world devastation. Like, that doesn't tend to be the possible logical conclusion you come up to. It's like, well, either they're paying me or they're aliens in disguise.
Yeah. So yeah, this was quite an enjoyable thrill ride. I think this is my third favorite of the ones that we've watched in this series so far, and probably hovering around the top 5 maybe overall, but top 10 of the ones that I've seen. I think this is in contention for that. It was really good.
Yeah, no, I am a huge fan of this.
We have so many more movies.
We have so many more.
We have so many more movies to watch. So this is just as of this recording, but it's of the ones that I've seen, this is up there.
I'll be fascinated where you think of where we're heading coming up soon. But
yeah, every time I look at the schedule, I'm like, wow, we really.
And this is just season 1.
I know. This is just Showa era. We got whatever era is coming next. We've got, the American ones.
For a second the other day, I was like, what do we do after Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla? Two Black Guys Talk... Like, wait a minute, we're not going to be done with this for like 5 years. Like, what are we talking about? What's next?
And the fans know, because of the announcement that was made a while back from when you hear this episode, that at least till 2027, this podcast will be going. And that's not even like I've been joking about the dates and the times of how long we'll be doing this, but we really will be here till 2027 at least. I feel like we gotta get to the next Godzilla Kong supernova. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think we about cut. Anything else? Any other thoughts on Invasion? What were your favorite? I forget to ask this. What were your favorite scene?
Oh my gosh, this is so challenging because this movie was fun. I think that the destruction.
Okay.
Just the long scenes of destruction, I think, are my favorite in this.
Mine's definitely when they're talking about Monster Zero, and then they're like, "Oh no, it's attacking! Monster Zero's attacking!" And they're like, "You want to see Monster Zero?"
Yeah.
They open the door, and it's Ghidorah. It's like that's such a fun, especially when you see it for the first time. It's such a thrill to be like, "Oh no, it's just Ghidorah."
Definitely.
That gets me a lot. Yeah, good stuff.
Fun movie, fun episode. Yeah,
this movie delivers. All right, where can people find more of you online?
You can find me at lenoirtour.net and on Twitter at Terence B. Johnson.
You can find everything I do at my personal Substack page, codezeek.substack.com. I'm on all the socials at Aaron's PS4. I co-host the podcast Out Now with Aaron today with my friend Abe. We talk about weekly movie releases. And, that's going to do it for this week's episode. The next movie in this series is Abira, Horror of the Deep. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else is in our... Because I know we still have Frankenstein versus Baragon and War of the Gargantuas. I think that's before this, though.
It is.
Okay, so that will have already happened. Okay, well, because we're recording these slightly out of order for reasons that will become clear soon enough.
Yes.
But yeah. All right. Well, good. That's it then. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla.
Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla is an independent podcast. This show is produced, edited, and distributed by Aaron Neuwirth and Terence Johnson. Theme music is sampled from Feral Bunch. Please rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts. Feel free to email us at blackguystalkgodzilla@gmail.com and follow us on all the socials at BLK Godzilla Talk on Twitter and Blue Sky and at Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla on Facebook and Instagram. And if you haven't already subscribed, feel free to do so wherever you download your podcast so you can keep listening to Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla.